The road stretched endlessly into the darkness, swallowed by thick fog that clung to the asphalt like a living thing. The only sound was the steady hum of the engine, the rhythmic thump of tires against the road. The digital clock on the dashboard glowed 2:13 a.m. He had been driving for hours, exhaustion settling deep into his bones. The glow of the city was long behind him, and now he was completely alone. There was something unsettling about this stretch of road. The trees on either side loomed like silent watchers, their gnarled branches twisting toward the sky. His fingers tightened around the steering wheel. He had always been comfortable driving at night, but this time was different. The air inside the car felt heavier, like a presence lingering just beyond the edge of his perception. A green road sign flickered under his headlights. He squinted at it, but the words were barely legible, faded, worn by time. He had taken this highway dozens of times before, but he did not recognize that sign. The GPS screen flickered, calculating. A new route appeared, a shortcut. The road veered off the main highway and disappeared into a narrow stretch of woods. He hesitated. He had never seen this road before, but the route promised to cut nearly 20 minutes from his drive. He sighed and turned onto it. The pavement quickly turned rough and uneven. The headlights barely cut through the fog, which grew thicker with every passing mile. Trees pressed closer on both sides, swallowing the sky. The air inside the car dropped in temperature. He adjusted the heat, but it did nothing. Then he heard it, a whisper, faint, almost like the wind, but wrong. Like something just out of sight was breathing against his ear. His fingers twitched. He turned off the radio. The whisper remained. A cold shiver ran down his spine. He glanced at the rearview mirror. A figure stood in the road behind him. His breath caught in his throat. He slammed the brakes, heart hammering against his ribs. He blinked. The road was empty. His skin crawled. He pressed the gas pedal, speeding up. The road seemed endless, stretching into nothingness. The fog thickened, swallowing everything behind him. It almost felt like the world outside his car was disappearing. Then the car hit something, a dull thud beneath the tires. His grip on the wheel tightened. Had he run over something? He checked the rearview mirror again. Nothing. His breathing was shallow, uneven. He tried to shake off the unease, but his hands would not stop trembling. Then the engine sputtered. The headlights flickered. The car slowed to a crawl. The GPS screen went black, and then he saw her. She stood directly in the road ahead. A woman. Her long, wet hair clung to her face. Her dress was soaked, dripping onto the pavement.